Hello everybody, this is Sherry at djsundry.blogspot.com, and I have yet another birthday card for you. I know it seems like I've been doing a lot of birthday cards lately, but that's because I've had a lot of birthdays that I needed to do cards for. So let's just plunge right into this card. I'm really excited about this paper that I have for this card. This is from My Mind's Eye Fine and Dandy collection. This is a great paper collection, and this is actually the first time I've used it, and I really like it. I just haven't used it yet. So I used one sheet of paper, and let me tell you, I used, out of this 6x6, I used it to my advantage. This is how much trash I have left from it. I used just as much of this 6x6 piece of paper that I could. So I chose one piece of paper from the collection. Now these are double-sided papers, and on one side we have the little clouds with the sun peeking through, and then on the other side we have a yellow. So let's get started on our card. Now I did not pre-score my card base, so I better do that. I forgot to do that. This is a cardstock, is from Recollections. It's just, I believe it's a jewel pack or something like that. It's just one that I've had in my stash, and I cut that at 5.5 by 8.5 so that I could have my normal A2 size card, and there is that. Okay, so once again we're going to start with the inside of our card, and I am going to open up the inside, and what I did is I took some of the scraps so that I could form a little inside border with it, and I cut these at 4 inches by, well, just varying sizes. They're just kind of scraps, but this looks like it's about 1.5 inches wide, and a good portion of that is going to actually get covered. And actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it towards the crease so that there will be a yellow border along the bottom, just to make the step down the line a little bit easier. And I have these brown strips, and I am just going to adhere them. They're also 4 inches, and I've cut them at about 1/2 inch, and a good portion of the strip will be covered, but I just wanted to use that little bit of a brown to break up the yellow and the cloud colors. So this one I'm actually going to do on this edge, and this will all make sense. The beauty of double-sided papers is that you know that they coordinate, and I like that. I like that they all coordinate together, and that's about right. Let's see, I don't think I want that much showing. Let's move that over. I only want about 1/4 inch on that edge. And I'm working rather quickly because I don't want my glue to dry before I have it set down. There we go. Okay, and then I'll adhere these to each other. I'll use my ATG for that. Sometimes on the smaller pieces it's just easier to grab a glue pen, but on the larger pieces I would just as soon use ATG because it's easier for me. And that is a bit crooked there. Must have slipped. Sorry about that. That kind of throws off our time there. There we go. All right, and that's just going to go right on the inside. So let's put some more ATG. And the stamps, I've chosen 2 sets of stamps. The first one is from K. Andrew Designs, and it's of Mice and Little Men. Now, if you are a Disney fan and do a lot of Disney cards, you are going to love this set because it would really go along with your Disney cartridges. I don't have a lot of Disney cartridges, but I love the stamp set, and I'm using it quite frequently. And I'm just using my black ink pad, and the phrase that I'm using is "sky's the limit." And like I said, this is a birthday card, and I'm just going to put this right down here, just like so. Sky's the limit. So there's the inside of our card there, and we'll close that up and work on the outside. Now, on the outside, I'm using a completely different stamp set. The stamp set I'm using on the outside is my Stampendous Happy Messages that I've been using actually quite a bit lately, and I'm going to use the happy birthday from that. So there is the outside of the card, and it's yellow. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere a brown base. Now the brown base was cut at 5 1/4 by 4, so that I'll just have about a 1/16 of an inch all the way around of the yellow. This is for a man, and I like the brightness of the colors. Reminds me of spring, which we're in, but we also can get in the nice masculine tone to it. Now I'm going to, again, this is going to be the top of my card, and I actually am going to have a 1/4 of an inch on either edge of these. But again, I have a little brown strip, and I cut these pieces at 4 3/4 inches wide, so that I would have the 1/4 of an inch. And then what I did is I just took a leftover scrap of the brown, and part of that is going to be covered up. But I just wanted that little bit of a break between the brown, or the cloud layer, and the yellow layer. Even though they coordinate, that'll just help it pop just that much more. So this was just a little piece that I had. It's about a 1/4 of an inch. And that's going to go right on there. So let's go ahead and just adhere that down. And I think this one is probably about 2.5 inches, is about how tall this cloud and sky piece is. And we'll just kind of put that down there. And then we will put our bottom piece, I about put it on backwards. And we will just adhere that right down. And I didn't put this where I needed it to go. So maybe we'll just move it up. Probably would be better if I adhered it to this layer. Sorry about that. It's getting very late, and I'm getting ready to start a long work weekend, and I needed to get these cards done before I go to work tomorrow, because I know that once I hit the floor running tomorrow, I'm not going to have time to get in the craft room for several days. And the person that this card goes to has a birthday coming up on Sunday, which, yes, he won't get the card in time, but hey, he's going to get it sooner than some of my other siblings have, right? There we go. Just that little bit of a brown border. Doesn't that just add that extra dimension of making things pop there? We'll go ahead and adhere that to the bottom. There we go. And then the last embellishment that I'm going to make is I got my Creative Critter cartridge out, and the giraffe page has a kite on it. And I cut the shadow layer, and they're all at 3 inches out of brown. And then I cut the base layer, which is this yellow layer, out of a similar yellow. It was from a different piece of paper, but it's basically the same yellow as the base of the card. And that is going to go right there. Not pretty. I just really like that yellow and brown together. And then this was just a piece of scrap card that I found that I thought made a neat kite. And it's just some stripe paper that I found in my stash. It doesn't take much to just really kind of make that go. And that's going to actually go off to the side there, but I don't want to adhere it down because I need to decide how I'm going to do my sentiment. Now my sentiment is happy birthday, and I need to figure out how I'm going to make it all fit now that the card base, actually maybe I want this one to go clear over here. There we go. Just like that. So again, I'm going to use my black Excelsior ink pad. I thought about using dark brown, and that probably would have worked, but I felt like the black would just be a little bolder than any of the browns I had. If I had a rich cocoa or a rich chocolate chip or something, maybe it would be better, but I don't. All right, and that says happy birthday. And then we're ready to put our kite on, just like that. And I think could go like that and just kind of let it float in the sky like that. Maybe that's, I think we'll do it just like that. And I think we cannot put anything up in the corner here. Typically you would, and if I had like a little brad that maybe was in the shape of a sunshine, that might work really well. But since I don't, we will just pop this up on dimensionals and call it good. And I think it'll be pretty because that little sun's back there. I think it'll finish up and it won't look too empty because the paper itself is pretty busy. And so we'll get this popped up, and we will be ready to go. Should have pulled some larger foam dots for the back. And the tail is going to cover our tail on our bee, but that's okay. All right, so there we go. Happy birthday. Sky's the limit. So thanks for watching, and come back for another project on it tomorrow. Have a great day.